Hello and welcome to the Management Channel once again. This will be the first lecture chapter in organizational behavior. So we're going to look at organizational fundamentals. Our objectives here are we want to gain a fundamental understanding of organizing the business entity, consider methods of determining organizational structure, review advantages and disadvantages of the division of labor, and consider the concept of departmentalization. The internal environment, there are 5 internal environment factors that affect a business: management and culture, the mission or the mission statement, the resources available to produce your product with, the systems process, how you do it, and the structure. Remember these. These are the 5 basic internal environment factors. The external environment, on the other hand, is the factors outside the boundaries of the organization that affect its performance and are beyond the control of the organization. These are the customers. You have no control over your customers, but your job is to provide them the product or service they ask for. Your competition. Who else is in the same market with you trying to gain more of the share and take business away from you? Your suppliers. Who are your suppliers? Are they producing good quality products for you to work with? And what is a labor force? Do you have a good choice of skilled and non-skilled labor? And finally, your shareholders. Some more external environmental factors are society, technology, the economy, and governments, both state, local, and federal laws. The global environment has pros and cons. There is a balance of trade, difference between value of exports and imports. Importing more than exporting means a trade deficit, which is kind of where we are in this country right now. Exchange rate is the currency, and the currency is strong when you get more of the other country's currency for your dollar, but weak when you get less. When the dollar is weak, foreign goods are more expensive to us. Protectionism, to prevent foreign businesses from pricing lower here to drive out our competition, which is called dumping. So for that, we have tariff, tax on imports to make it more expensive. Quota, we put a maximum on the imports and exports allowed. Or an embargo, a total ban on importing a product from one or more companies or countries. Classification of global businesses. Domestic is one that conducts business only in its own home country. An international business, while primarily based in one country, conducts business in multiple countries. And a multinational corporation or company has significant operations in multiple countries, let's say like Coca-Cola. There's some important terms to know for taking a business global. First of all, there's licensing, allowing another company to use its assets like the brand name, trademark, copyright, and patent. Franchising, a parent company provides trademark equipment, materials, training, and so forth for a fee and a percentage of your business revenue. This would be like McDonald's, Burger King, and some of the other franchise restaurant units. Contracting is a company that contracts a foreign business to manufacture goods to be sold as their own. Sears, again, contracted tools to be made and classified them as craftsman tools. Sears didn't make them, they had them made for Sears. What is a joint venture? That's when you're creating a new company or enterprise when both businesses agree to produce together, thus sharing ownership. A direct investment is an investment that occurs when a company builds or purchases operating facilities in a foreign country, like General Motors does in China. The mission statement is very important. What is it? It's the organization's purpose or reason for being and is defined in their mission statement, relevant to all stakeholders. Stakeholders are employees, customers, shareholders, suppliers, the board of directors, and believe it or not, the government. The mission statement states what business the company is in now. It also states where the company or the business will be in the future. It creates of where the company is headed, stating both how and why. If you're a small business and creating your own mission statement, do a Google search to see some examples of mission statements. The system process is the method used to transform your inputs or raw materials into outputs. System process has four components. Inputs, the organization's resources, which include human, financial, physical, and informational. Transformation, the conversion of those inputs to outputs. And outputs, the products or service that you offer to your customers. Feedback is a method of control to ensure that inputs and the transformation process produces the desired results. In doing so, quality management is very important. Quality is an internal factor within the control of the organization. But what is quality? It's a measure of valuing, comparing actual functioning to the customer requirements. The customer asks for this. We need to meet or exceed that demand. Customer value is the perceived benefit of a product or service to your customer. And total quality management focuses on the organization to constantly improve their product value for the customer and thus stay ahead of the competition. The organization process is the process of establishing orderly use for resources within the management system. Organizing skill is the ability to establish orderly uses for resources. Really. The importance is primary mechanism managers use to activate all plans. It creates relationships between all resources used in the plan. Organizing is essential to the business. Organization is the group structured by management to carry out the designated functions and accomplish certain objectives. Organizational success is more likely to happen when employees are truly given top priority attention by both management and supervision. The informal organization is an informal gatherings of people apart from the formal structure that satisfy members' social and other needs. The informal organization can make the supervisor's job either difficult or easier, and it really depends on how management treats employees. Informal groups can be very strong in shaping employee behavior to an extent that it could interfere with supervision, which results in organizational negativity. 5 main steps to organizing the process. Step 1, reflect on your plans and objectives. Step 2, establish your major tasks. Step 3, divide your major tasks into subtasks. Step 4, allocate resources and directives for the subtasks. And step 5, evaluate the results of the organizing strategy. And if there's still a problem, then reflect on the plans and objectives. In other words, it's a never-ending process. Organizational authority. Authority is the right to give commands, take action, and make decisions in order to reach or achieve organizational objectives. Line versus staff. The line is the right to command immediate subordinates in the chain of command, and the staff has the right to advise but not command others who are not subordinates in the chain of command. Line function is the activity that contributes directly to creating or selling the company's products or service. And the staff function does not contribute directly to creating or selling, but supports the line activities, for instance, accounting, legal services, HR, and the like. Delegation of authority is the assignment of direct authority and responsibility to a subordinate to complete tasks for which the manager is normally responsible. This is called empowerment. The organizational culture is a division of labor and patterns of coordination, communication, workflow, and formal power that direct organizational activities. So what is the division of labor? A subdivision of work into separate jobs assigned to different people, leading to job specialization. Division of labor is limited by the feasibility of coordinating that work. It potentially increases work efficiency, tasks mastered quickly, reduce training costs, and easier to match people with the jobs. It's very necessary as a company grows and works to become more complex. Primary concern, how to divide labor. Well, the assignment of various portions of a particular task among a number of organizational members is your division of labor. Instead of one member, several members involved, each doing a segment of that function. Assigning production steps to different individuals helps you obtain your organizational objective. The advantages of division of labor: workers specialize in tasks and become much more proficient. One worker, one place saves time. The worker concentrates on one job. They try to make more efficient and easier by making suggestions, and workers only need to know one part of the process, not the whole. However, there are disadvantages. It focuses mainly on efficiency and production and overlooks the human aspect. Work that is specialized tends to become redundant and boring. Specialized work poses a problem if the worker calls off sick. You can resolve this by cross-training your employees. So span of management factors. The major factors that influence the span of management are the similarity of functions, geographic contiguity, complexity of functions, coordination, and planning. Please take a moment and read through this chart and pause if you need to hold it longer. Span of management organizational chart. The organizational chart differs depending upon the span of management. Who reports to who? In the one chart, there's the top manager, and everybody reports to him. In chart B, you have a top manager, two sub-managers, and those two sub-managers have subordinates that report to them. Organizational tools and their applications. An organizational chart is a graphic portrayal of a company's authority and responsibility relationships. Advantages are: it promotes careful study and analysis of the departments. It helps identify duplicate efforts or inconsistencies. And it reveals any dual reporting relationships. Helps determine the proper span of management. It also helps new employees get acquainted with the department. And it shows both the formal authority and responsibility relationships. The informal organization. An informal leader may be chosen by the group or may assume leadership by being a spokesperson for the group. Without the informal leader's cooperation and goodwill, the supervisor may have difficulty controlling the performance of the department. When I was in management, I always observed the team for a while and looked to see who everyone gravitates to. Who was the informal leader that everybody went to for questions, complaints, and so forth. So they do exist. Informal leaders can help the supervisor if you get them on your side, especially as a channel of communication to the other employees. Unity of command principle holds that each employee should directly report to only one supervisor. And then it helps the supervisor know exactly who their managers and subordinates are. But it may become blurred when the organization uses a matrix structure or establishes task force, project groups, or special committees. The span of management principle holds that there is an upper limit to the number of subordinates a supervisor can manage effectively. Those factors influencing that are the supervisor's managerial abilities, the types and amounts of staff assistants, the level of employees' abilities and capabilities, the location of the employees within the organization, the nature and complexity of the employees' work activities, and the degree to which departments have objective performance standards. Intra-organizational process are the activities within an organization that transform inputs into outputs valued by customers, and there are two primary methods. Mechanistic, characterized by specialized jobs and responsibilities, and organic, characterized by broadly defined jobs and responsibilities. Another way of redesigning interorganizational process is through empowerment, and we have used this term throughout this entire management channel. Giving decision-making authority and responsibility to workers by giving them the resources they need to take effective action and the ability to make effective decisions. This in turn motivates employees to feeling competent and capable of self-determination. Finally, one last method worth mentioning is the concept of virtual organization. It's a part of a network of several companies working together to solve customer problems or provide specific products which allow sharing costs, facilitate combining efforts, talent, and knowledge. It's fast and flexible. However, it does require excessive managerial skills. So we hope you'll be sure to view more of the details of organizational behavior here in this playlist in the Management Channel. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.